It's next Tuesday here in these United States. A little dreary and wet here in the tri-state area. It's been raining all day. Esports Extra folks live here on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Take your phone calls live at 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872 at the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here, SNY TV, a little NBC Sports, a little bad NFL, a little NBA 2K League, a little 3-on-3 action, the big three broskies rolling along here on this pretty good Thursday, man. Looking forward to the weekend and got a lot of stuff planned this weekend. If the weather will cooperate, I think it might rain tomorrow, but it's supposed to be pretty nice here in the Northeast this weekend. But whatever you guys do, whatever the weather is, no matter what you have to do, get out there and exercise your right to vote. I think all three of us have voted. Is that correct?
Yes.
A
Yes,
Willie,
sir.
A Dub, D Dubs.
Yes, sir. No question.
All right. Civic duties by these fine young men here on this program. Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. Once again, your phone call is 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is Esports Extra. Hit the pound button twice, and you can join the show. Guys, how's everything going, man? D-Dubs, we'll start with you. Carnoustie, man. Is that correct? Is it still wet
Yes,
there?
sir. It's wet, dreary, raining all day. It's just ugly day. But hey, we can use the rain. I can't complain. But yeah, it's been dreary and overcast all day.
We can use the rain. We won't need that much rain, though.
Yeah.
D-Dubs, how you doing, man? How's the weather down there, man? I see that you guys did avoid the storms in all seriousness that swept through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, in that area, and went heading through Atlanta. It's been raining like crazy in Atlanta too.
Yeah. So for us, it's just been the temperature dropped a little bit. It's been raining, and we actually saw the sun a little bit later today. So probably first time we've seen the sun in maybe 3 or 4 days, which is atypical of Dallas, but it's still a little bit cool here. But I'll take it. After being in Boston, Chicago, New York, I'll take it.
Yeah. I was going to say, not too loud. You're not going to complain too much here. Living
Nah.
in the DFW down there. All right, guys, we're talking Major League Baseball. We'll get into Thursday Night Football kicking off tonight at 8:20. I believe they're in the A, right? Yeah, they're in the Mercedes-Benz Dome, right?
No, they're in Charlotte.
This is Charlotte. That's right. The first game they played down in Atlanta. It is in Charlotte tonight. Bank of America Stadium. Is that what they still call it?
Yes.
Deal. Good deal. Super Bowl seating. We'll talk about that. The Super Bowl, February 7th, right? D-Dubs? Is that right? February 7th?
Don't put me on it.
I'm throwing it out there.
we don't. That's a tentative date anyway with this COVID.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, actually, you know what? It's not so tentative now. They've sort of locked it in. We'll get into some of that. Carlos Dunlap traded to Derwin's Seahawks. I think that's a very good move for Seattle. We'll get into also a little NBA with the Rockets hiring a name that you're familiar with, at least the last name, Paul Silas' son, Steven Silas. We'll talk about that. Wisconsin, Nebraska, COVID ravaging and wrecking the college football weekend. A bunch of games, a plethora of games canceled this week. The biggest one on the Big Ten. We'll get into that. And also, we'll talk about these Dallas Stars sweaters, man. That's what they call them in hockey, the jerseys. They are sweet. Love them. You know, Hey Willie, you in Dallas, man. You got the boss all one, man. Our names on the
back. No, I have no connections with the Stars, man.
No one said connections. I said you need to buy us one.
That's what he said.
You don't need connections. You just need money. A different kind of green, not the neon green, but
a different kind of green.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Gold for the honeys, green for the money. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's start at the top, man. I mentioned a little bit yesterday. The news came out, of course, all day yesterday. We were going to talk about more in depth today. Justin Turner, the fine, infielder, third baseman, played with the Mets. Went out to the Dodgers years ago. Weird situation with the COVID. Started the game, inconclusive result on his COVID test. Then he finds out in what? The seventh or eighth inning, that he had COVID, had to leave the game. That wasn't the story. The story was that he came back onto the field, and boy, the privilege. He forcefully said no, basically, when they said, hey, you should self-isolate, stay away, quarantine away from the team. He's like, hell no, I'm going out there to celebrate and, and get the World Series trophy. Kissed his wife. Plenty of pictures and video of him on the field. I know Fox had it as the World Series. Your thoughts on this, man? But the first thing I thought was, wow, how forcefully did he say hell no. And what are you going to do about this, Major League Baseball? Could one of us do that as a brother? Like, can we forcibly say, hell no, we ain't doing this? I just thought it was ripe with privilege there from Justin Turner. Your thoughts with JT, the Dodgers, and COVID-19. We'll start with you, A. Willie, since you down there in Dallas, not too far from the Stars.
For me, it's one of those things that they've been able to complete this season because they've been pretty much adhering to protocol and doing things the right way. So they've been able to get through the season without too many hiccups, especially when you start thinking about where they started at the beginning of this thing. And so everybody was following the rules. Everyone was doing what they had to do, making the sacrifices, being away from their families and all those different things. And so you get to this point now, and you get all the way to the end. And now instead of people talking about the Dodgers winning the World, you just bring more things to talk about with this because some people.
No one talked about it on all of the national news programs. It was Justin Turner. That's it.
Exactly, and especially given the fact that this is, some people question this championship anyway because they say this is the COVID season, it's a shortened season, etc. And now you just bring more, you just kind of pile on with it in terms of something that you do that's controversial. And to your point as well, when I'm hearing he demanded and forced his way onto the field, I'm thinking, who are these security people? Right? and should I be safe when I go to games again when the world opens up? Because I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, this is crazy. And of course, I understand it, and I understand it even more so personally. I'll say that because he grew up, 30 minutes or so from 30 miles or so from Dodger Stadium. I played my summer baseball in St. Louis. So when we beat the Cardinals and being at home plate in Busch Stadium looking out, I sort of understand the feeling. You kind of get wrapped up in the euphoria. But at the same time, I wasn't doing it during the COVID season as well. I don't understand this in terms of them allowing. I understand his emotion.
They didn't allow.
They didn't allow.
But they didn't push back either. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I understand his emotion. I understand that, especially given the fact that he may be he's a free agent, doesn't know if he's going to be back playing for the hometown team, winning the World Series first time in 32 years. But I don't understand the lack of pushback as well. And the fact that there are pictures of him close to Dave Roberts.
No,
right?
No, there are no pictures. There's videos.
He's next to him.
He's next to Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
Right. And we know Dave Roberts' health
had
history.
Some health issues, exactly.
Right. And so for me, it took away even more so from that moment because I'm watching Dave Roberts again, another personal tie, bringing him to the Red Sox and making that recommendation. Right. So to see him do that in Boston and then see him do that in LA, and then it's kind of clouded because of the actions of one person, it's discouraging, and I didn't like it at all.
Well, he was. I think he found out in the 8th inning. We want to make sure we get that right. It was. I thought it was the 8th. Look, I'm reading the Major League Baseball statement, and they said when MLB security raised the matter of being on the field with Turner, he emphatically refused to comply. We've seen, what's going on in this country. Black Lives Matter. The black men being killed and slaughtered in the streets by police officers. Not the same thing, but this is what I'm talking about when we talk about complying and things of that nature. They didn't put up a fight. I had a problem with that. I didn't think it was right, and I know they're doing an investigation. I'm just sorry. If it was anybody else, I don't know if it would have been the same. Now, maybe it would have been. Maybe if Mookie Betts said, hell, I'm going out there. He is the face of the team. He's the start of the team. Maybe he gets away with it. I just don't like the fact that he emphatically refused to comply. Like, who the hell, how does he emphatically, I don't get to emphatically refuse to comply any damn thing that I get to do in my life. I don't think, right? I mean, maybe if it's something that I own, but not when it comes to authority.
And endangering other people.
Yeah. He had his mask on a little bit, then he took it off. That's like Derwin, your thoughts here on just, and he did, issue a statement. 35 years of age, I get it. He's getting up there in age. He's worked hard for this. I'll get all of that, but not a good look, man. And I see why I led all the national newscasts yesterday.
I got a problem with the entire thing. It kind of disgusts me. One, Major League Baseball, if the commissioner guy has any cojones, he needs to be suspended because he jeopardized all his teammates. There was families on the field. There were babies on the field. Pregnant. There was one wife is pregnant on the field. His own manager. He didn't care. He's selfish, and you can't allow him to get away with this. They pulled him for the game
They're
for a reason,
investigating. They're investigating. And now
and
with this,
then
yeah, that's true.
and then I'm annoyed at the comments from the Dodgers.
Right.
Mookie Betts.
Well,
They,
they facilitated, I think, this because the
they all
security said
allowed it.
yeah, exactly. I think the Dodgers and Major League Baseball is investigating that part of it. How integral was the Dodgers in and being complicit in this, basically?
Yeah, and then but this for me, Mookie Betts' comments are damning for me. He's basically saying, you know what? No, we're not going to keep him from this. So what's important? Obviously, he's not fearful for his health or anybody else on the team. How many? You don't know who's on that team that might have pre-existing conditions. This is nothing to be to fool with. We've lost so many lives this year.
Sure.
And for him to even think I'm not even going to wear my mask, I can understand. You hadn't won a championship. It's a historical moment, historical franchise. It's '88. You want to celebrate. He didn't even think about at least social distancing. He can touch that trophy anytime.
I was going to say, and you can take a single individual picture. Everybody gets that. You see it on social media. They're all going to have their one shining moment with the trophy. But then it's the team picture. That's the one where it's like, no one else is wearing a mask. But look, dude, you shouldn't have been back on the field. I mean, it sucks. Sucks.
Yeah, but the commissioner. I mean, I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. I think it's deserving of a suspension.
There's no precedent for suspension, though. That's the problem. Yeah. Like the Major League Baseball union. Hey, Willie, you can vouch for this.
No question.
It is by far the strongest damn union in all of pro sports.
What? So nothing? There's no penalty?
There's no. You know how it is in baseball. It's hard to get anything done against that union. This ain't the NFL where they just roll over everybody. This is the Major League Baseball Players Association, dog. Like, there's no precedent too. Ooh, that's gonna be hard to get.
But I mean, okay, you get 80 games for doping or something?
Yeah, because they all collectively bargained that part.
But to come back out knowing you have a virus or a disease or whatever you call it that's highly contagious,
ain't nothing on the
that
book.
killed millions of people in this world, and you got it.
I hope you're right.
And you come out of the locker room after they pulled you off they said you can't stay on the field. You got to come with
Emphatically refused.
And you come back out.
You know what that is? That is code for he said, I don't give a damn.
That's it, yeah. And he didn't say that word. You know what he said. and from a public relations standpoint, the Dodgers, Major League Baseball, et cetera, they better hope that nobody else contracts this and come
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, they allowed the Rays to leave today? I think is what the story was. So look, Major League Baseball did a good job. I mean, had a rocky start there in the beginning. 20-something games. Cardinals, Marlins, a few other teams had some issues. There, Mets at the end as well. But look, they did a good job. As far as the positivity rate and keeping everything down. Major League Baseball, they got to do something here though. But hey, Willie, you think? Real talk. You think he's going to get suspended? I don't think so. Maybe fine. I don't think he's going to miss any time.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. Color me skeptical. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I would be. It wouldn't be a good look for Major League Baseball. I mean, because you're seeing teams in other leagues because they're being reckless, and they're literally just saying, "Yo, you know what? You got to go." And we've discussed this before. We know that certain players, they're going to do it a little bit differently, right? I'm not going to treat you the same. I'll treat you fairly. So we know that. But at the same time, when you have other leagues making stands like that and people in college sort of shutting guys down, saying, hey, man, if I catch you out in public without a mask, your scholarship may be at stake, et cetera. And then, this guy is a professional and supposed to be setting an example. At least that's what the professional leagues like to portray. Mm-hmm. If they're supposed to be setting an example, and if this guy just gets a fine, again, that just does not look good for Major League Baseball.
Justin Turner.
And then his statement was weak.
I know it was weird. Let me read it to you. He tweeted, "Thanks to everyone reaching out. I feel great. No symptoms at all. Just experienced every emotion you can possibly imagine. Can't believe I couldn't be out there to celebrate with my guys." I can't believe it either because your ass was out there.
You were out there, right? Yeah.
So proud of this team and unbelievably happy for the city of LA. Hashtag World Series champs. Tone deaf. Tone deaf like a bug. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I get it.
We
Look,
were-
if it was me, I'd probably find a way to get out there. Maybe I'm in the background and maybe
You gonna
I'm
Bobby
not.
Valentine it?
Look. I probably go out with my girl. It's. Here's what I would have done. That's why I'm not going to completely kill him, but I would have gone out there. I would have taken my pictures because you can do that solo. You can do that with social distancing. The team picture's the one. Maybe you get somewhere in the back, or I know you probably want to be in the front. Put your mask on, and right before they say cheese, take it down, and then put it back up. I would have shown some sort of contrition. You know what I'm saying? I would have been a little more apt to do it, a little more sly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you just can't be out there, man, just talking to everybody, spitting and talking with no mask on and everything, and being in the middle of all of this.
Do we know if his teammates knew why he had left the game?
I'm sure they did
Sure,
because they pulled him for a reason. I'm sure they did.
So then when they saw him back out there, ain't nobody like take a double take. Like they were just caught up in the moment.
Because you know how it is. It's being asymptomatic and things of that nature. Oh, he looks good. He feels good. He's asymptomatic. Yeah, that's true. Probably look good for him. We want everyone to be sort of asymptomatic. We don't want any health issues. Go to the hospital on ventilators or things of that nature. Or getting this cocktail or whatever, or other therapeutics or things of that nature. But you can still spread it, dog. That's the whole point.
And if my wife on the field, don't come near me. Come on, man.
What you doing? You gonna fight her?
What I'm saying is, my wife, don't go near him. 34. You stay away from that guy. Come on.
Dude, you're gonna be like, hold this trophy. I'm about to sock this dude really quick.
But the fact that nobody, I would like to think that there's other teams that somebody would have said something to do the right thing.
Right.
You mean all the I know there's like a brotherhood with teammates, and you don't throw your teammates underneath the bus. But for all of them to be like okay with this,
for Major League Baseball to be looking at the Dodgers and how complicit they were in allowing this action to take place, which it's almost like saying, I don't know if they're totally complicit, but there was no pushback.
No.
There was no resistance.
I'm pretty sure the manager knew. You would think they had to tell the manager, and he was just chilling laid up on the grass. Cheese. Dude,
Euphoria, man.
Dave was happy. Man. Dave was happy that he delivered.
You can tell, dude. They were so relieved. They're like, COVID, I don't give a damn. Give it to me. Give it to me. I don't care. We did it.
I don't know about anybody
else. And they
lost
$150 million. You hear about that, Willie? Dodgers lost $150 million this year.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I guess to them it's worth it.
Baseball lost a lot of money this year. Yeah.
I mean, my biggest fear with this whole COVID thing was just for me. I don't worry about myself per se because I don't know. Maybe I feel I'm indestructible. Sure. The worst thing for me would be if I came home and I gave it to my son or my wife.
That's when.
That's where my head is at, and that's if I was a player. That's where my head would be at. I do not want to get what I have to one of my teammates.
To be that flagrant and to be that, to violate that bad is like, that's the problem. Look, you might catch it. It might be through no fault of your own, right? Mm-hmm. We live in a society, but you can control that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree. Let's go to Thursday Night Football tonight. Cardinals hosting the Falcons. I believe Falcons 1-6. Lost that last game, a heartbreaker. Tar Gurley, scored like 50 seconds left.
He tried to stop.
I know it. Oh, my goodness. It was reminiscent of the Super Bowl I was at, Super Bowl 46, Patriots and Giants. Remember Bradshaw tried not to score, almost left a little bit of time for Brady or some of that Hail Mary at the end when the Giants beat the Patriots for the second time in 4 years. That was up in Indianapolis. That's like the last assignment I had, actually, in Boston. Who you got tonight, guys? Falcons or Panthers? Teddy Bridgewater 3-0 in his career against the Dirty Birds. Who you got, Willie?
Man, it's funny. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to say the Falcons are going to win this game.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
I'm going to say they're going to win it because when you look at them as a team, as bad as they are, it's not like they're just atrocious. They give up leads. and unfortunate things happen. So, and yeah, a lot of those things they do, but it's not like, I guess we're going to pile on them because we talk about them a lot. This isn't like watching the Jets, right? Like, where, I mean, they have some players, they can beat some teams. And so because of that, I guess I'm going with the law of averages, and I think they're going to get one tonight.
Okay. So A Willie going with the Dirty Birds. You can find them in the A. I guess here soon. D Dubs, who you got tonight? Falcons or Panthers?
I'm going with the Panthers.
Me too.
This is a game they gotta have it. They want to keep pace with Tampa and the Saints. They're right there in third place.
What are they? 3-4, 3-5, 3-4.
They are 3-4.
Yeah.
3-4.
Yeah, 3-4. They can't afford to lose this divisional game against the Falcons. They really have to have it. No Christian McCaffrey tonight, but I think they'd be okay with the running game. And Teddy Bridgewater, just don't turn the ball over. Try to, play ball control, make some good
He's been
passes.
pretty good. 8 touchdowns, 5 picks, QB rating around 100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's averaging like 260 yards a game passing. If you'd have told me that, I'd be like, really, Teddy B? Not bad. He's throwing the ball down the field a little bit more too.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that.
No, he is. Dude, it's a lot more than what he typically has done and shown in his career. They're pushing the ball down the field a little bit.
Well, yeah, he needs to get
They got
the ball.
Moore and Robbie Anderson.
Anderson is, turning some 10-yard passes into 80-yard TD
Go down the
passes.
field a little bit more. Look, I'm not saying it's Bruce Arians. It ain't air raid. It ain't the old Oakland Raiders. But they're pushing the ball down the field a little bit more. That's a fact.
Well, that's what they need to do tonight. They need to stay on top of those Falcons. And the Falcons, they always seem to, they're not like the Jets. The Falcons don't have a problem really scoring points.
Right.
They just can't keep leads.
Well, they find a way to lose like bad
exactly.
teams. They're not as bad as bad teams, but they found a way to lose like bad teams.
Yeah. So I got to go with the Panthers tonight.
Yeah, no Christian McCaffrey tonight. Been out with an ankle injury since week 2, right? So hopefully he'll get back the following game. So he gets 9 to 10 more days to sort of rest up. Yeah. Look, if they can get the 4-4 and get McCaffrey back, okay, maybe they're still in the playoff hunt, trying to make some noise there in the NFC South. All right, keep it in the NFL. Super Bowl 55, double nickel. Going to keep it in the state of Florida. We were in Miami this past February. Going back there this coming February, Super Bowl 55 will be in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Capacity, they're going to hold it at 20% of fans. So the stadium, I believe Ray J holds about 65, so around 13,000, somewhere around there. Yeah, around 13,000 there. Your thoughts on this? Is a good idea. I think they have to do something like this. Look, the virus is not going to be gone. I don't think a vaccine is going to be online in large swaths of the country by February. Also, you look at it, they talked about week 18 as well. They're going to use that as a way to sort of make up some games as well with the pandemic. They're going to have this extra week. And if they do so, they can pull a week away from the Super Bowl, that off week from the Super Bowl, which I think is pretty smart. So I like what they're doing. This is some of the things that you can sort of figure out in your own head. Take that, but get rid of that bye week. That's one of the first weeks you can get rid of during Super Bowl week. So your thoughts here on the new rules and protocols that the NFL came up with now with Super Bowl preps. Go with you, Dubs.
I didn't even think about the Super Bowl and attendance and things until this popped up. I'm okay with it. You have a couple of fans in the stands. I don't know what that Super Bowl.
They're gonna put them in like pods, which I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, the pods are socially distanced, but the people aren't. I've never understood that. You ever noticed that in the stands? Like, you got boxes of people. Like, I'm like, why don't you just spread it out naturally? I mean, if we got a cluster of folks, I mean, we're distanced from the other cluster, but I'm still in the middle of a damn cluster. Like saying, I'm in a crowded club, but the club is socially distanced away from the other club. But still 1,000 people next to me.
So I don't know what they're gonna do for that weekend because Super Bowl weekend, we have activities and all kinds of festivities going on. It's Florida, it's hot. I don't know what they're going to do for that weekend.
Well, they've done it in the past where you just play one week. It's been a while, but they've done it plenty of times in the past.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as the weekend itself, like the Friday and Saturday activities, You can't have much going on, even though it's Florida, though, and Florida doesn't seem to adhere to rules.
Florida's wide open.
They're wide open. They liable to have a big outdoor bash out there in Tampa. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But hey, you get a couple of fans in there and make a little bit of money, so be it.
20%. That's gonna be a very expensive ticket, man.
Yeah. They're gonna make up for it on the commercial end though.
Yeah.
those
Right.
$1 million commercials for 30 seconds, they're gonna make that money up.
Yeah. Hey, Willie, your thoughts, man? You like some of the regulations that they have for the Super Bowl 55 in Tampa?
It's funny to me when I saw that we were going to talk about this. The first thing I thought is, here we are in the COVID year, and it seems like all the major championships are in Florida, where again, like you say, everything is wide open. We got the national championship in football. We got the Super Bowl. Man, they might as well move the Final Four. Just
NBA
move it
bubble.
all down there.
NBA bubble.
Just move it all down there, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just crazy to me. But I'm not surprised. I kind of figured this is going to happen any way that they can, as Dee was saying, continue to get that revenue and make it somewhat of a party. Have some business meetings down there because they're going to do that as well. So I figure it'd be something like that for sure. But yeah, it's interesting, but not surprising at all.
Well, you got to have some Tampa work, as well. You got to make sure you bring that in,
Hey,
Super Bowl week.
we know this, right? Other than South Beach, hey, Florida's different than LA, man. It's different than California. Like that's a different type of work.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see. Like I said, about 13,000 fans. I'm sitting here trying to do the math. I'm like, Super Bowl commercials this year are going to be about $6 million. Hell, they were going from 4 million during the World Series, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll be about $6 million. The tickets this year on average, about 5 G's.
It's
Easily.
probably gonna be more with the limited seating.
Well, I'm talking about on average, like like average. I mean, you can find some things, a little bit cheaper, but yeah, you're right. Probably maybe even up to 10, but it's gonna be between 5 and 10 just for a ticket.
StubHub are gonna be off the chain.
I know.
Yeah,
The NFL gonna make their money.
Gonna get broke off real proper like, no question.
Yeah,
no question.
You're right about that. Keep it in the NFL. Carlos Dunlap, the Bengal. Saw him. We talked about it yesterday. he put on social media the depth chart. He was wilding, wasn't he?
Going hard, boy.
Carlos Dunlap, get me the hell out of here. So here's a guy who's been in the league a while. Got some talent, career. What he got? 60, 70, 80 sacks in his career, something like that, about 70 sacks in his career. So here's a guy that's done some things, been the Pro Bowls and things of that nature in his career with Cincinnati. Traded to the Seahawks. Love it for your Hawks. Durbin, your thoughts here, getting a pass rusher, which you guys so desperately need in that Seattle defense.
Well, not shocked. Knew it was coming, and the trade deadline, I believe, is next week, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday, 4 p.m.
Yeah. So I knew something was coming. I just didn't know who, because there was really nobody out there that I could think of. Before the season started, I wanted Everson Griffin, and then Dallas wound up getting him, and now Dallas just shipped him out of there.
Where'd he go? Detroit?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Detroit. And then because I did not want Clowney back, so I mean, everybody can see our deficiencies on that D line. We get a pass rush, we'll be okay. And
notice he said okay.
no, we'll be fine. It's the pass rush. Our secondary's not bad, dog. It's not. Our secondary's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
We got linebackers. We're getting healthy. We also picked up Snacks. He's probably going to play in a week or so.
Damon Harrison, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when Pete was going to call Clay Matthews off the couch, but he didn't have to do that. So
Clay Matthews, Brian Cushion.
Yeah. Well, Clay's been sitting out there.
Well,
so,
the problem Clay wants money. He wants too much money, I think.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that was I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's a conversation that Pete probably thought about, because we desperately needed some help. But Dunlap, he was trying to get out of Cincinnati, stuck on the end of the depth chart. I don't know what that's all about. I guess Cincinnati wants to go with this youth movement, and he's got his wish. He put his house up for sale, and now he's coming to Seattle,
All right.
and we'll work him in, and I think he's going to be a nice addition. It's something that the Hawks really needed.
It can't help. It can't hurt. What would they give up? Like a late round pick, sixth round?
They gave up 7th round pick
Okay.
and a center, because we had a center that used to play with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he hadn't cracked our lineup. And if right now Cincinnati's got like 4 offensive linemen hurt.
Okay.
So I feel bad for their rookie quarterback because they're decimated. Burrow, I mean, he's got to get that ball out of his hand because that O-line is just decimated with injuries.
Sure. D-Dubs, excuse me, A. Willie, your thoughts here? Carlos Dunlap, veteran, brings some he's got a skill set for that Seahawks pass rush. They definitely sorely need it.
Yeah, and I mean, he had 9 sacks last year, so I think there's still some juice left in the tank. But in fairness to him, he spent all 11 years of his career in Cincinnati, and man, if you're a pretty good player, been to some Pro Bowls, and you're in Cincinnati, at some point you get to the point where it's like, okay, I need to start trying to win some games, and because it's hard to overcome dysfunctional behavior.
You think it will invigorate him because he's I think only 1 sack this year, but he's been started out well. I think he played second or third game of the season, played like 60 snaps, and then it's been decreasing. Now he's playing like 10 to 12 snaps a game.
Yeah, I think it'll invigorate him, and and the thing with Seattle is, as D keeps saying, they definitely need a pass rush, but he doesn't need to go there and be Michael Strahan either. Right. So I think with the expectation or the fact that he doesn't have to go there and carry the load by himself and to be on a team and be a savior, he's done that for 11 years now. So he doesn't have to do that, and I saw how Jamal Adams was playing before he got hurt as well. And this was a dude that was in the league for 4 instead of 11 years. So with that being said, I think it'll certainly reinvigorate his play some. Also, too, it's funny as I watch Seattle do this, and this is something that they do a lot. I started immediately going into a basketball mindset because after the Lakers, after Jerry West pulled off the Kobe deal and got Charlotte to pick Kobe at 13 and then traded George Lynch and Vladdy to Charlotte, the Lakers were trying to do other deals as well. They were trying to get Paul Pierce. They were trying to get Baron Davis on draft night. And teams were like, what? Wait, what you guys did with Kobe? Nah, man, we ain't messing with you guys.
Right, you ain't
so
gonna
we're not.
Us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at what point are people going to look at Seattle and with the gamesmanship in the league and say, you know what? This is a team that's already one of the stronger teams in the league, in the conversation for the best team in the league. We can't keep making them stronger. So, I wonder if we'll get to that point with Seattle because, again, they keep trading these low-round picks and getting these guys and hitting pay dirt with them for sure.
Sure. I mean, it's like New England. New England does a lot of that too. I think Seattle and New England, do a lot of things similarly, the way they go about their business and how they run their franchises. But you're right. I mean, the rich gets richer, but that's why those teams are winning franchises. You know what I'm saying? They got a good ownership. I got a good GM. With Schneider and those guys, you got a good head coach. You got a great quarterback. You can do some things. That's why.
No doubt.
That's why. What is Seattle? 5-1, 6-1, 5-1.
5-1.
5-1. That's why they're going to be in the thick of it this year.
And they might not be done.
Okay, well, they got till Tuesday, Election Day. We'll definitely see. Speaking of football, you saw the Cam Newton say this is a must-win game for them against Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's right.
It's a playoff game.
You're right. Yes, it is.
Well, not really. Well,
Edelman's hurt.
Huh?
Well, Edelman's hurt. I told you that he had a knee scope. I told you. You can tell. He couldn't.
And you know what? When I heard that today, that he got his knee scope, the first thing I thought about, if Tom Brady was there, he wouldn't have got that knee scope. He would not, dude. He was not gonna leave his man out there. But it's Cam Newton. That dude could hit the side of a barn. Peace. I'm out, dog. I gotta take it in his knee.
I'm trying to figure out how in the hell they're gonna win this game. Unless the defense scores, how are they gonna win this game? Like seriously, how in the hell are you gonna win a game in the National Football League on a Sunday on the road with Jacoby Myers, Gunnar Olszewski, and Damian Bird?
Is he Superman? He said he's Superman.
Edelman did a Scottie Pippen on him.
I made a business decision.
I tell you what, Patrick Mahomes is a bad boy. Russell Wilson's a bad boy. They ain't going no damn where with those three receivers. I don't give a damn what you say, Derwin. They ain't going nowhere. They couldn't even beat their alma mater. Not with those damn receivers.
I don't know. Bird might be.
Bird might be what? Might be what?
He could.
Might be what?
Russell, he might be Doug Baldwin.
Oh my God! There you go with that nonsense.
Because who is Doug Baldwin? He was undrafted. His first year, he got hurt. Golden Tate was there.
Doesn't matter.
And nobody knew who Doug was.
It matters. Do you have the skills?
Jermaine Kearse? Who the hell is Jermaine Kearse?
Just a guy caught a big ass pass in the Super Bowl. Other than that, nobody won a Super Bowl.
Made him a household name.
Well, but
they got a deal from the Jets.
I know you can talk about where they came from. It ain't where you're from. It's where you're at. Yeah. And right now, during those times, they were good. Exactly, they were good players. Damian Bird ain't done a damn thing in the National Football League. Coach Olszewski hasn't done a damn thing. Probably never will do a damn thing in the NFL. I'm wasting my time with this. Once again, Jacoby Myers, Gunnar Olszewski, Damian Bird.
Call Raymond Claiborne.
He's got James White. He's got Rex Burkhead.
Oh my God!
Those are dump down, check down guys.
When you got other parts moving. What I'm saying is this offense is not built for him, and they worked on it this week.
They changed it for him.
Yeah, but they didn't change it good enough.
It
doesn't matter. He can change it. He's just a big receivers because he's inaccurate.
Yo, Larry, it worked. It worked for Tim Tebow.
Oh my God!
They made it work for Timmy.
Don't tell me you fell into that trap just because he won one damn game.
For the trick bag.
I was there for that, and let me tell you something. The Patriots used to laugh when we used to talk about Tebow. Remember they spanked them twice in the playoffs. Brady threw 6 touchdowns in the first half. They said, "Man, get that pop gun offense out of here. We get a lead. What they gonna do? What they gonna do when we get a lead?" Nothing.
Give speeches.
Nothing. Tebow ain't coming back from 2 touchdowns down. You can do all that stuff and all the little trickery and the motions. You can do all that, RPO stuff when you're down by 3 scores. It doesn't matter.
So have you finally come to the conclusion you're not winning 10 games?
It doesn't look good. It does not look good. It does not. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me. They got to play more like they did in week 1. Not the fool's gold that they saw against your boys in week 2, and not basically how they played against Oakland, because I think the Raiders sort of helped them out with the turnovers and things of that nature. Playing, the Raiders played like this is the old New England, the way they were playing up in Foxborough. They got to play like they played against the Dolphins. Good defense, complimentary football, good special teams, and Cam's going to have to run for 50 to 75 yards, and maybe throw for a couple of 100 yards, and just ball control. That's all they got. They ain't got no weapons. I'm done. White flag right here, man. I'm waving it. They ain't got nothing.
You like Rocky's trainer throwing the towel?
Throw the damn towel. They ain't got no weapons. Let's keep it moving. Rockets hired the former Mavs assistant, Steven Silas, 40-something years old, son of Paul Silas, of course, coached with the Hornets back in the day. I think this is. Look, I know his name's been out there, but I was still a little surprised that he got the job. Hey, Willie, what are your thoughts here of your boy going from Dalworth down to Houston?
I was happy to see it because
happy to see it, but I was a little shocked. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Happily shocked, if you say it that way. But I was very happy to see it because here's a guy again. It's even though he's a younger guy in terms of being a head coach, and I think he's about 47 now. Yeah. The thing about it is he's been an assistant for 20 years. His first year as an assistant was 2000. So with that being said, it's this dude has paid his dues as an assistant, and he got there, paid his dues. He's seen it all as a player. I mean, I've seen it all as a coach. I'm sorry. Went to Brown. I like guys that go to high academic institutions and play there. I love guys that do that. So went to Brown, played at Brown, smart guy, was raised around the game, has a pedigree as well. And again, as I said, has been an assistant for 20 years. So this isn't a guy that, okay, yeah, you know what, we're going to give this guy a shot, one of these young guys who, maybe they have a connection with a particular player or a couple of players, but they're not really experienced in terms of from an assistant standpoint. This dude, again, been an assistant for 20 years, but he's also young enough to connect with some of these guys that are playing in the league currently as well. So I like it, and I'm looking forward to see what Houston does.
Yeah, I also like that Mark Cuban. I had a good message for him on Twitter. Thanked him for his service and wished him well going to a rival like that. What do you know in your research, D Dubs, about Steven Silas? Like I said, in his 40s, long-time assistant, gets a shot to move up to the big chair.
Yeah, I mean, everything that Antonio talked about, I co-sign with that because here's a guy that he earned this position. He earned the opportunity. 20 years in the game, got the pedigree. His dad was a coach, highly respected. Players love him. And they also talked about how, he's got some great ideas offensively for the offensive system. So this wasn't given to him. He had to put in 20 years to get this opportunity. Gets a nice co-sign by the Mavs owner, Mark Cuban, which doesn't hurt. I'm glad that he got this opportunity, and love to wait to see what he's able to do. And he's not getting a team where the cupboard is bare.
He's got a playoff team.
He's got a playoff team.
And you know us brothers, sometimes we don't get the team.
No.
Don't look at us
Absolutely.
like that.
We get,
I'm
we get
happy for him. Yeah.
you guys always say we get the bottom with the cupboard where you got nothing to work with. Well, he's got plenty to work with.
Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with the egos. James Harden, and Westbrook. So, but yeah, I was definitely didn't know too much about him at first, but definitely happy that he got this opportunity.
Hey, Willa, they talk about the offensive mind. I think the quotes that I read was ingenuity. You see these terms being tossed around and bantied around about Steven Silas. Worked with a lot of great point guards, Luka, Kemba Walker in the past, and others. Now he gets James Harden and Russell Westbrook. What does he bring to H-Town?
For one, he brings that credibility as a coach because
From
of
an
his
offensive
pedigree.
standpoint, what makes him such a genius offensively?
But that's what I mean, right? First off, you got to have that credibility. So people have to buy into what you're saying. And the way they buy in is they look at your resume,
Right.
especially if you didn't play in the NBA. And his resume speaks for itself. But again, being around the people that he's been around, some time around LeBron as well, he definitely understands how to coach players that think this game at a very high level and fabricate offense for others as well as for themselves. One of the interesting things will be, though, when you look at Tillman Fertitta and what they do from a financial standpoint, will this be the same team once we see whenever the season starts? Will this be the same team? That's one of the things that I look at as well, because a coach can bring all the ideas that he wants, but if he doesn't really know his personnel, or if they wait until the last minute to make a move, now you put a little bit of pressure on the coach. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just looking at it and some of the things that you hear from these other coaches, he's coached with a bunch of other coaches. He's been there with his father. He's coached with your boy with the Mavericks. What's his name right now? I forget his name.
Was it
Carlisle, Rick Carlisle. Yes.
Carlisle.
Also coached Steph Curry.
Yes.
It seems like the connection to the point guard and the guards itself is what drew the Rockets, or what drew him to the Rockets. And when you look at what they have there, Houston plays what? Small ball. So it made sense that I'm just glad that he gets an opportunity here.
Oh, yeah.
Not a championship team right now, but a team that not playoff caliber team, but I guess a team that can sort of contend. How do you feel about that? Just the fact that he's sort of paid his dues as well. Both of you guys.
And he gets the opportunity to bring all his ideas, to a championship ball club and kind of mold what he wants them to be. And it's a blessing that he's going to a team that the cupboard is not bare. So once again, he had to wait 20 years, but I think if you had to ask him, he's ecstatic for this opportunity. He's got a top franchise, with the Houston Rockets, and they're not that far away from possibly, they can win a championship. It's possible.
I don't know about
that. They can win a
They
championship.
can go to the playoffs.
Big
Maybe
man.
upset somebody. But
They gotta make some moves.
that roster's a little flawed.
Big man.
But looking at that roster, small ball. How do you think he'll do? What sort of offense will he have there, Willie? From looking at what he's done in the past, working with those great guards we talked about, Steph Curry, Luka, Kemba, people like that.
Well, when you look at all those guys that you name, especially Steph Curry and Luka, one of the things that they do is the ball doesn't stick in somebody's hands. There's a lot of motion. There's a lot of
Okay.
misdirection. All of those things to keep defenses off balance. And I think that's one of the things that the Rockets need to do. They need to take away some of that predictability. And so, because you have these weapons on the perimeter, one of the things that you could do is get them on the move and don't let defenses stack up and wait. Get them on the move. And so, especially with Russell Westbrook, get him on the move, get him some points off the ball, and let James. One of the things that I would like to see more with James, and hopefully Stephen put some of this stuff in the lineup. When James was in OKC, when he would come off the bench, they would put Russie on one wing, they would put the 7-foot monster KD on the other wing, and they would let James run the point. And James was the facilitator, and he would get buckets, but he would also facilitate. And people forget how high of a basketball IQ he has. This dude's led the league in assists before.
Well, he does a lot of that when your boy, when the broski's off the court.
Right, but I'm saying when they did it when he first came in the league and they went to a championship with him doing it with him on the court and freeing Russie to be a scorer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying I would like to see a little more of that, where actually both of these guys are doing playmaking for each other and the other people on the team as well, and not the ball just sticking in their hands. Because again, you can win a lot of games because you can just out talent people. But when you got to execute, when you get in the playoffs, that's where they have issues because they're so predictable. And with the ball sticking in James's hands or the ball sticking in Russie's hands, they're so predictable, especially when you take away the fact that they don't have size. So they are very, very predictable. And they allow, if they're not making shots, the opposing team can just stack their defense and wait on those guys to get the ball. So I expect to see a lot more creativity, a lot more motion, things of that nature.
Well, like I said, they use the word, a genius, ingenuity, an offensive mind, offensive-minded head coach. Look, paid his dues, 20 years in the league, great pedigree, coached some really elite guards, and that's why he got the gig. So we're rooting for him. We'll see how far he can take Houston, replacing a guy like, Mike D'Antoni. I think it'll be something similar. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly can he do a little differently to sort of elevate those guys. They're a flawed ball club. That's the thing. I think they got some nice pieces, but they're missing a couple pieces as well. College football, Wisconsin, Nebraska, the big game, the 9th-ranked Badgers going to Lincoln. Cancel the game, but I think because of Big Ten rules, it's more of a no contest, so it won't count. They're not going to make this game up. I don't know about this. What do you guys think about this? That almost didn't happen. It's like, well, Wisconsin, this is a tough game for you guys. You guys are going to go on the road to Lincoln, and now it doesn't count. Well, if I'm Nebraska, I'm like, well, hell, I lose a home game. So, and it was, Wisconsin who called the game off. Well, why don't they forfeit? They called it off. They still meet the threshold as far as having the correct number of players in COVID. They only had 6, which that's a decent number, but it's below the threshold.
It's what 6 are they? It's what
one of them's the quarterback too. And not only that, the Big Ten rules are so arcane. Players got to sit out 21 days. Have to be positive for 21 days. Coaches got to sit out for 10 days. Well, what about next week when they play Purdue? I'm just like, I don't know. It seemed very weird to me. You guys' thoughts on this?
They didn't want to listen to the commissioner, stay their behinds at home. They want to play so damn bad. COVID is controlling this thing. So I don't know. We've been seeing teams all across this country with college teams with getting COVID, and they've been juggling this and postponing that. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what the Big Ten's going to do. We know the commissioner never wanted to play in the first place. And it is what it is at this point. Nebraska, they're going to be salty about anything. So
right.
Well,
they were running their mouths all year or all summer about COVID. And then somebody smacked them last week. Who was it? They got beat by somebody a couple of weeks ago.
Who beat them?
Ohio
State beat them.
Yeah, smashed
Ohio State beat them. Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
After they scored first.
Exactly. Sometimes you get what you wish for. But I guess what I'm saying is, it seems like Wisconsin should be punished a little bit more since they're the one with the outbreak. They're the one that called it off. It's like, well, that's not fair to us.
Well,
I
it's
don't know.
not their fault they got COVID.
Well,
They didn't choose COVID. COVID chose them. You
I'm
gonna
sure if it was,
penalize them?
I'm
Come
sure if
on.
it was 5 walk-on players, they'd be playing this game. The fact that the starting
That,
quarterback
there it
stopped
is.
playing, that's the
There it
problem.
is. And I
Well,
think the coach too. I
The
think the
coach got
coach
it
as
too.
well.
Yep.
yeah. The coach got it. Well,
So they're
should we
ripe for
have
an upset.
Right.
should we have done the same thing to the Patriots when Cam had it? It was just the quarterback,
Well, but he didn't play either.
He
but
didn't
they
play,
wound
but
up
they
pushing the
played.
game.
No, they
They
played.
pushed.
No, they didn't. They played against Kansas City. They played. I didn't think they
They,
should have, but they did. They played against. Yeah, he didn't play
Yeah, they
against Kansas
played.
City. He caught it that
Played.
Friday or
I,
Saturday
I
before
was
the
trying to
game.
remember if they pushed that game.
No, they
Like it
played.
was supposed. It didn't play
Yeah,
when it was
they
supposed
pushed
to
it
be.
one night to Monday. Yeah, pushed it one night. They played Monday night. Yeah.
They
So
played.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
played.
Hey, Nebraska, man. Like, and then Nebraska tried to and go behind the Big Ten's back and schedule a game with Tennessee Chattanooga. They tried to gangster the Big Ten. Like
They're out of control.
man,
UTC. Oh
man,
man, the
they tried to
Mox.
gangster my man. You know,
Yeah.
they tried to G him.
What's the commissioner's name? He's a brother. What's his name? Kevin.
Kevin,
Is it Johnson?
No.
is it Turner?
No.
Kevin, yeah,
Kevin
he came from
something.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Kevin something. I
And,
forget it. I'll look it up real
yeah,
They're
quick.
showing
they
him
tried
no
to-
respect.
No, they tried to little local. Hey man, get over here. We're gonna do this, right? Like it's
Yeah.
and so it's crazy with Nebraska what they're doing. I just I don't know how this is going. You know, with the buyouts and things of that nature. I don't know all of that legalese.
Kevin
but
Warren.
I don't know how this relationship continues,
Yeah.
and because it is the way Nebraska and but then for Nebraska as
It's
well,
got to
right?
continue
Like,
though, Willie. Like, where we're gonna go? Like back to the Big 12?
man, with the legalese and all those things, I don't know what the option is. I
Right.
just don't know how it
Have you
continues
seen their
healthy.
checks? Have you seen their checks? They ain't going nowhere.
No, they're not. But
I know
yeah.
Kevin would probably want to get rid of them. Kevin Warren, the
Well,
commissioner.
Nebraska
well,
ain't
and-
stupid though. They ain't gonna like kick us out. No, those checks they're making like $20-30 million more a year now. They ain't going nowhere.
They're $50 million payout from the Big Ten Network for every school.
Yeah.
And then the other thing as well is this hasn't been like going to the Big Ten hasn't been like this recruiting boom for Nebraska either. They don't get anybody, right? They're not very good at basketball. They're certainly not good at football, and that's their flagship sport. So, I mean, I don't know if this hasn't been a marriage made in heaven for anybody. So it's just interesting to see it. You know, like T.O. said, we got to get our popcorn ready and watch this, man. Like, this is drama.
Yeah.
This is your 80s Nebraska when they were
Sure.
Right.
running the wishbone.
But you think
LA,
about it.
getting cats from LA.
Right. Well, yeah, like guys like our good buddy Amon Green, who was born in I think Nebraska, but born in LA, but then they moved to Omaha, I think, or maybe it's vice versa. But I know he spent some
Irving
time in LA.
Pryor, all those LA dudes. Right?
But the problem, I guess, the Big Ten when they came up with the scheduling, they didn't schedule a bye week. They have to play consecutive weeks. Now, when it comes to conference tournaments, I guess you have to. It depends on the certain amount of games that you play. Look, Nebraska is going to be in contention for a conference
I thought it was
to
at
play in the
least
conference
6 now.
tournament. Yeah, but I think they're only playing 6 games, right? Is that what it is?
Right. Yeah, because
But all 6 games, I think you have to. It depends on like the percentage or certain amount of games that you play. Because clearly now Wisconsin's not going to play, so they're only going to play 5 conference games, and that's why I'm saying I think it helps them.
well, the NCAA's been real lenient with the rules and stuff this year because of the whole COVID thing. Because normally we have to play what, at least 7 games or more than that.
Mhm.
So I think Wisconsin, they'll still have them in contention, even though they might still play 5 games.
Well, they're up to 16 active COVID cases, so even after a day, it's gone up.
And Wisconsin itself has a problem right now. The whole state is an uptick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we've not heard the last of this.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're scheduled to play Purdue next. He's able to return after 10 days. The head coach, Chris, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
And
Paul
that's
Chris.
Paul Chris, and that's exactly the day when they play Purdue next Saturday. So it's like
He gonna pull a Nick Saban.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. This year is so crazy. It's like, dude, I mean, whatever. If you want to claim to be a champ, that's fine. It's just so crazy where, look, it's almost it's almost like health. Like somebody's going to be healthy and somebody's not. It's not their fault that you're not healthy, but I don't know. Can you beat on your chest that you beat up a lesser team? it seems like Wisconsin was trying to protect themselves. They're the ranked team. They're trying to make sure that they're at the end of the year so they can play in the Big Ten championship game. And Nebraska was sitting there holding the bag. I just think it was a little unfair to Nebraska. That's all. Lastly, anybody?
Nebraska, the way they've been behaving, they deserve
it.
Like I said, it's reminiscent of Louisville and Kentucky. Louisville's like, this is not fair. You guys get to play with no fans, and Kentucky's like, I don't give a damn. And next year, yeah, you might have to face 24,000 fans, but hey, look at a draw, dog. So yeah, we're seeing that play out in this during this pandemic. Let's end on the National Hockey League. A lot of great sweaters in the hockey league, the National Hockey League, when it comes to their jerseys and the real name sweaters. That's what they call them. This alternate jersey by the Dallas Stars. When I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, man, that's sweet! That neon." And then the one guy, the one player had the dark shield on. I was like, "Ooh, man, can you imagine seeing that on the ice?" And then it had the city, like flashing in that neon / action green. That stuff will look sweet on the ice. If I was the folks at the AAC, not the AAA, American Airlines Center, I'd turn the lights down low, man, and let those guys buzz up and down the ice with those, because they're gonna wear them 12 to 15 times. Tell me y'all love them. Are they not the sweetest damn jerseys or sweaters in the NHL right now? Those things are sweet.
They're hot, and that jersey's already had green in it, so it works for them. You know, it's hot. Like, you got a light show. Just let them come up for their warm-ups, let them skate around.
Welcome to the laser show, man. It's Dustin Pedroia used to say back in the day.
Love it.
Yeah. Hey, Willie, it's on you, dog. You live in Dallas. You cannot do this to us, man. You got to find a way to get your boys some jerseys, man. Some sweaters, man.
Man, those things are gonna fly off the racks. Those things are fire.
You need to go to the store tomorrow, man. You ain't got nothing else to do. What you doing?
Man, COVID is in control.
He gonna pull a COVID.
COVID. You can look. Ooh, see, I like how they got the skyline. I was like, that's a nice little hype video for hockey.
I think they made by Adidas.
Job well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Adidas still has the NHL license.
Lucky it was a Nike.
Yeah, those things. That's nice.
That's what I was looking for.
No, those are fire. And,
on the sweater it says "Come and take it." I was like, "Oh yes, yes."
Hey, I wanted to talk about that because down here where people are have weapons and things of that nature, you see that on the back of trucks. Come and take it with guns. Yeah. So
I believe it.
Yeah.
I bet you see a lot of "Don't tread on me" down there too, huh?
Sticker, yeah. You see that. So, but no, that sweater is fire, and this is what the NHL needs, and it's kind of interesting because it reminded me of like when I was at Nike and when I would talk with college college basketball programs, say Penn State, when I would meet with them, and it's like, hey, I get it that your football program has tradition with the basic uniforms that they have. That's tradition. Same with Alabama.
Right. But your basketball team ain't got no tradition.
There you go. There you go. And basketball, there's a fashion element to it. And so when you are a Penn State or you're a program like that, you need to add some pizzazz to attract these recruits. This is all the stuff that resonates with people that are spending money now. So the fact that they're able to get out in front of it and do something and not, hey, we're steeped in tradition and we're going to do things the traditional way. I love it, man. And we need to see more of this.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep being traditional and get your butt kicked. Not winning the game.
Right.
Yeah, when I think of college basketball, I do not think about the Penn State Nittanies. I tell you that. Yeah, good stuff. They're going to wear these sweaters 12 to 15 times next year. That's pretty good. That's like, fourth, quarter, fifth of the time. I'll take that. Going into the 2020-21 season, can't wait to see those guys rock those on the ice there in the AAC. Hopefully they come play the New Jersey Devils up here. I'll go to, go to the Rock over here in Newark and go check them out, man. They look sweet. Compete Forever on Black News Channel this weekend. Episode 22. It's the Madden Foxwoods January Championship. Durham Worrell, the sideline reporter on that broadcast, Saturday and Sunday 11 a.m. Eastern, and also 6 p.m. Eastern. Black News Channel. You can get it on the following cable systems: Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity, Charter Spectrum, and also ATT Uverse and Direct TV. I know it's 342 on Direct TV. Once again, Compete Forever, Madden NFL, Foxwoods January Championship from the Foxwoods Resort Casino, largest resort casino in North America, over 2,200 rooms up there, 9 different casinos. One of our favorite places up there in Manchester, Connecticut, Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, only on Black News Channel. Check it out this weekend. Duran Warrell doing his thing on the sidelines, acting like he know Madden.
Yeah, good times, good times. I miss Foxwood.
I know,
go back.
I know. Well, we're going to Rivers in December.
Foxwoods.
Yeah,
Foxwoods in Boston. Yes, sir.
Yep. The wonder of it all, as they like to say.
Yep.
So, hey, Willie, we'll be seeing you with some NBA 2K next week. Darwin, we got to get you on the Compete Forever Madden League playoffs, divisional round and conference championships and Super Bowl Monday and Wednesday. I think we found a way to work you in. So we'll talk about it this weekend. And yeah, we'll have some fun, man. Let's keep this family together, man. You know what I'm saying? Have a little fun.
Let's get it.
Yep. And that'll be it. Anybody got any final words before we get out of here, man?
Looking forward to
throw them up.
This football game tonight. But yeah, throw them up.
Throw them up.
Throw them up. What?
Hey.
Right now? Right now? Go ahead. Throw them up,
Kelly.
Throw them up there. Yes, sir.
Hey.
OG.
What up, OG? What up, Kelly?
Snook and Diddy.
Hey. Renee, Serena, Cam. Y'all be good, guys. Thanks for watching esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. We'll see you on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.